Good evening, everybody. Welcome to your Sunday night entertainment, the League One review show with me, 18 Dapper, and our regular guest, Jake, Punkchef41. Do you want to give a little plug to your channel and Talking Wednesday?
I will do this because I've been told before. So I am Punkchef41. I do Sheffield Wednesday content. I also have a podcast with my co-host Dexterity Box, who also does Wednesday related stuff, called Talking Wednesday. It's out every Tuesday at 5 p.m. on Dexterity Box's channel, and it's on all podcast platforms of choice. And we basically just talk about Wednesday. We started it in January, and it just really took off since then. And even if you're not a Wednesday fan, come and have a listen. We're more than welcome. We talk about lots of different things. So
I concur. It is a very good podcast, but we always forget to plug it. And Dexterity is not happy bunny when we don't. So we'll get that admin out of the way straight away.
Make me something.
So if you are new to this show, the format is we go through any games that we've missed from the previous show. So we've had the international break. There was 4 fixtures. Then Sheffield Wednesday played Bolton. So Jake will have an opportunity to talk about that game. Ipswich, Shrewsbury, Wycombe, Gillingham, Plymouth and Burton. So we'll fly through those. And then we've got Friday night's game, Burton against Morecambe. And then Saturday's games will whip around the ground. I'll talk about Doncaster versus Wycombe. Jake, 2-2 Wimbledon versus Wednesday. So you'll have to talk through that one as well, unfortunately. And then to finish off, we have a look at the table, which is still not good viewing for us Rovers fans. Not too good for Wednesday fans either, but there's some teams in there that are very happy.
And to Liam, yes, I have seen the FA Cup draw, and yes, I am seen that, and I hope not, because that was horrible. I hated that game. Rubbish.
So welcome to the stream, Liam. Comments, get them thrown in, and while we're talking about football, if there's anything that's interesting or what we can talk about that pops up, I will try and get through as many as possible. So welcome to the show. Thank you for being with us, Jake.
No worries.
Bit of an intro. So let's start with Sheffield Wednesday against Bolton during the international break. Lee Gregory on the 66th minute. Talk us through it, mate.
We looked pretty decent in this game. It's weird one because teams like Bolton and Wigan are the ones that you don't think were meant to be beaten, and we are doing. These are the I thought we'd get smashed by Bolton. You remember me saying I was really nervous about it. I thought we'd get smashed. Solid performance. We looked good. We looked okay. It was interesting because we didn't have our normal keeper in net, Bailey Peacock-Farke, who was on international break himself. So we had Wild Smith in, and he stepped up. He did a job. He did it really well. And before this, we had the Pizza Cup game, which we won. And we took that to added time, but it was starting to build on a foundation, and it was starting to look really good. And we're starting to see things that might be able to turn things. It wasn't the best performance, but sometimes the best performance don't equal wins. But to get a win against Bolton, I was well happy for it because I was really nervous about this game.
Yeah, Bolton were on good form. What I took from that game, from the bits that I saw, from Nappers' vlog, the highlights, bits and pieces here, there and everywhere, where Bolton look a very, very tidy team, pressing very well, but Sheffield Wednesday solid defensively, which you come to expect from a Darren Moore team, really.
Yeah. The only thing that we had, and Napper pointed out in his vlog, was when they do not play it from the back, we're rubbish at it. But Darren Moore is obsessed with it, and so I think we'll be stuck with it.
Yeah, he did that at Donny as well. We played it out from the back. It is very nerve-wracking to watch, especially when you're not quite as good as Man City and the likes doing so.
Yeah, it's every time we do it, I'm like, just hit it long, just do normal League One stuff. Get a target, man, and just let it hold it up. I know it's ugly football and people don't like it, but it works.
Yeah, if it works, go for it.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing that result on last Saturday's, during the international break, gave Wednesday fans optimism, and
it was nice to stop the rot. It was nice to stop the rot, and it was nice to see Lee Gregory scoring. And I still think we've got a kind of little bit of a steal with him. I think he's one of the players. I don't want to say too good for League One because he's level now because of his age, but he's the perfect person for League One because he's just an annoying player that poaches who will get in behind them and just hold it up and bring people on. And if he can do it, he'll just have a shot.
Yeah, definitely. Liam popping up. Sheffield Wednesday should learn from Argyle of how to play with the ball at the back. Plymouth doing superbly this season.
We've had people calling that we should get Ryan Lowe for Plymouth. He ain't leaving Plymouth for Wednesday.
No,
and I don't get why we got the thing.
Yeah, not with how they're performing at the minute. And I think that would be a good place to go next. Plymouth against Burton last Saturday. They're looking very, very good. I mean, Liam said it.
Really solid at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah, great win for us against Burton. Yep. Oxford we'll get onto in a short while.
He built a team.
Yeah,
that's ready for this league. And this whole thing. You let a manager actually build something, they can do some good stuff. Darren Moore at Rovers, he was building something.
Yeah,
he really was, and you were unlucky the first time, and then second time it still looks like it was going to be going somewhere. I think he let manager build. This is the results. There's too many people. Yeah, there's too many people these days who want to. It really is.
The money, didn't it? That's all it was.
It was the money, but then to be fair, before that, you were on a 5-game losing streak. So
yeah,
it's
I've said it before on many a video. I don't begrudge anybody from bettering themselves financially or go into. There's no arguments about it. A bigger club, we can't compete with the likes of Sheffield Wednesday for fan base and everything else. So
the thing is, the only thing that I would have said, because I got a lot of grief from this saying, "Oh, you nicked our manager." I said, so why didn't you stand up for it? If you wanted to keep him, your board would have said you're not going.
Yeah,
and we gave you a good amount of compensation as well, and we never do that.
We'll take it. But yeah, Plymouth, Connor Grant, ex-Rovers player, knocking in the first on 15 minutes, and Ryan Broom kind of putting the game to bed. Say again, sorry.
They just look quality this year, Plymouth.
Yeah, very solid team. I think Liam said it, a force to be reckoned with. Burton's consolation was a tidy little finish, but I don't think there was any concerns from Plymouth fans that wasn't going to end in a 3 points on that occasion. So, yeah, sitting pretty at the top of the table. On to Ipswich against Shrewsbury. At the start of the season, you'd have expected to be a home banker, but with the way that Ipswich has started, a little bit inconsistent. It kind of showed again, but they bossed the game, but didn't do much with that possession. 8 shots, 3 on target, converted 2 of those, so can't grumble with that.
They seem like an ebbs and flow kind of team at the minute. 1 minute, it's very much like us, where 1 minute we're doing great, and the next minute they can't get to that next level, and we'll talk about that in this week's game. But Shrewsbury are really starting to show what they are in this league, and the thing is, I think a lot of clubs who have gone and got a lot of players, they've not gelled quickly yet, but I think they're also having to see what clubs who don't have much are doing, and it's fighting. It's that belief, it's that fight, it's that not giving up, because they want to put up a performance. And you look at the stats, it doesn't actually really tell the story, really, for me, because Shrewsbury did look decent in that. They nearly got an equaliser.
Yeah, they could have come away with at least a point from there. How did they get on this weekend? I can't remember.
It was Shrewsbury or Ipswich?
Shrewsbury.
I believe they won or they drew. I can't remember because
I've written notes, but I can't find them. We'll get onto them, but
we'll see it.
I think they might have drawn. No, beat MK Dons. Beat MK Dons 1-1. Yeah, which is a very good result because, well, it wasn't for me. They lost me 3 pounds off a fiver.
Yeah.
Gutted. But yeah, just returning a corner over the last couple of games. And like you say, they could have taken a point from Ipswich, which is no mean feat.
Yeah.
We know that as well.
See Cottrell as well, because he's a good manager, and after the year he had, it's just nice to see.
Yeah, definitely. On to Wycombe against Gillingham. This is the last game in the international break, and a blistering start for Wycombe. 2 goals in 10 minutes. Brandon Hanlon on the 7th minute after Gareth McCleary setting them off on the 2nd, and it was a blistering start this Saturday as well, but we'll get onto that in a short while. Lovely first goal from McCleary, individual effort, slotted it away well. The second, little fortuitous with all of the deflections, but for me, the turning point of this game was the missed penalty by Gillingham. I think if they'd have slotted that away, potentially it could have been a different story. Yeah, I mean, you look at the stats, it looks a fairly even game. I think 2-0 defeat for Gillingham is probably a little unjust. I mean, shots on target.
I would have thought when we first saw it, I called this a draw. So it's interesting. But Gillingham will still be doing stuff in this league. So
Yeah, I mean,
it's no mean feat to like lose to Wycombe, really. Oh, Charlie, hope you well, mate.
Never know, Charlie, who may be the co-host next season if it carries on the way that this season is. We were talking about it before we went live that if Rovers get relegated and Wednesday stay in this league or get promoted,
18 Dapper suddenly have a transfer request from
Jake will be getting cut and Charlie will be transferred. So that finishes off the international break. Only a few games, and it didn't really change much on the table. So moving on to the weekend, we had a Friday night kickoff, which is
it's always Burton.
Yeah, it's always Burton.
Burton has had it like every single Friday night kickoff, I think.
A cracking game for it though.
It really was.
Beating Morecambe 3-2. Burton, one of those teams where started really brightly this season, tailed off a little bit and starting to be a little bit more inconsistent, but they'll be very happy with this result. And Cole Stockton as well. Again,
it's as much as like Morecambe be disappointed, that's a good showing against a good Burton team. They just come up. They don't look like a team that's newly promoted.
No, they go into games with very little fear. And it showed when we played them at the Keep. It was a tough game. There'll be no walkover for any team in League One this season, in my opinion.
I'm worried for them in January.
Yeah, if Stockton leaves.
Yeah, because that's what will happen. A Championship team may see him and go, right, I'm having you. Or someone higher up in the division.
Yeah, definitely. And then where are those goals going to come from? Because Stockton at the minute up to 10 goals this season, which I think they've played 11 or 12 games.
Insane.
Yeah, you're not going to get that back from the rest of the team, are you?
No.
But yeah, based on the stats, Burton absolutely battered Morecambe in terms of shots. Conversion rate not too great though. 22 shots, only 8 on target. But 3 of those found the back of the net. So Burton fans will be very happy with that evening's work.
Yep.
That was short and sweet. Moving on to Cambridge against Ipswich Town. So we said it on the international break game that Ipswich are kind of inconsistent. They're a team that we expected to be up there fighting towards the automatic, not just the playoffs, the top two. I had them down as champions in my preview. And Jake, you said it, that teams who have got a lot of players in, it's just not quite gelled properly. Ipswich, probably one of those.
Yeah, they are. And the thing is, they're going to be calling for a lot because they've had a lot of changeover behind the scene to take over everything. And it kind of one of those things of going, like the whole Newcastle thing, just because you've got the money now doesn't mean it's all going to work straight away. And they got the right person in charge, Paul Cook, to be fair. He is the right person. I think Peter Reid had just come on as well as a consultant for them to do some work. So interesting little link up there. Yeah. But again, they're very much similar thing to us. They can't hold leads.
No.
And Joe Ironside, I think this is his 6th or 7th goal this season or something for Cambridge. And to be fair, Joe Ironside is a perfect name for a striker. I love it. if he's a striker, though, I do like that. And we got these next game. We got Cambridge next game. If we'll get on to our game, but these are the kind of games that we're having and we're not taking the point because teams like Wimbledon, Cambridge, Morecambe, they all want to put form. They all want us to be the big out, and they're not dying. They're not dying in the sense of like they're going till the final whistle. And these are the teams that I always worry about.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, they just come with very little fear. Play the game, play their style of football, and I think because there's no expectations of getting a result, they can play with that freedom. And
whatever happens is a bonus.
Yeah, and when teams are playing with freedom, it's difficult to kind of contain that. And you see it when teams have been fighting. I hope Don is not one of these this season where you're fighting all season to try and get out of the bottom 4. But then when it's mathematically impossible and you're officially relegated, you tend to go on a run.
Yeah.
Because that fear.
There's not that fear. You know where you're playing next season. And some of them, they're putting themselves in the shot window.
Yeah, exactly. And potentially that could be it. Teams coming up, not expected to stay up. This is every player's opportunity to get that big move to either.
Fair, with what happened with Cambridge in the summer, they're doing really well considering they lost the top goal scorer to Wrexham of all people. So
they're not doing particularly well down in the conference, are they? Mid-table.
Yeah.
So that move didn't work out for him, unfortunately. But yeah, Sonny Aluko got a brace.
Good player.
Yeah, lovely first goal as well. And then a lovely strike off of the bar from Brophy, kind of just before half time. Perfect time to score to get them back into it. And then, as you say, that never die attitude.
It really kicked them into gear getting that second goal, that first goal just before half time. Because your team talk changes.
Yeah.
It go from like get a goal and go for it, and then go for I don't need to do my team talk, just go do what you've been doing.
Yeah, carry on as you were, and Cambridge fans will be very happy with taking a point from Ipswich there. On to AFC Wimbledon versus Sheffield Wednesday. I will hand the mic over to you. It's all yours, Jake.
We started quite well, a little bit nervy at times, but we did the right things, kind of thing. We went attacking, and Lee Gregory with a great goal, perfect ball by Barry Bannon. And I say it all the time, Barry Bannon shouldn't be in this league. It's ridiculous. But that touch and turn from Lee Gregory just to make the base was superb. And we changed it up. We changed it up with letting Wildsmith keep his play because he deserved it from the Bolton game. But we also used the young lad we got, Deli Bashwayu, who we got from Man City a couple of seasons ago. And he's a tank. He's an absolute tank. He's 22. He's a really good player, and he's not really had many chances yet. And he took it. He took the chances. He's just such a great player. Just in front of that, because at the minute, we don't have that kind of setup at the minute where we're changing formation too many times. 1 minute it's a 3-5-2, 1 minute it's that. It's really weird at the minute. Patterson is a great player to have in this kind of team because he's really dogged. Then you come to the second half and we went out the blocks, went for it, got a penalty, which is something we never do that well. But when we got the penalty, Barry Bannon let Lee Gregory take the penalty, which was the right decision. He's a striker, let him have it. He's on one already. He's in for it. Their keeper made a fantastic double save to deny his hat-trick. It really was a good save. But then again, when they then concede, and then ahead go. And mentally, I've done it on a video, I said we're mentally fragile, this team, because we've been like it for the last couple of seasons. The moment we get a lead, we can't hold on to it. And their second goal, it came from like it was a free kick. No one pressured the taker, not the cross. No one pressured it. And Brown, who was going for it, he was injured. So he's running back to try and get for it. So it's at the start of the game, I wouldn't have wanted a draw, but considering what it was, we're gutted. It felt like a massive loss, even though it was 2 point each. Yeah. But we've got to learn how to handle leads. And at a minute, it's something we can't keep doing because that's going to be what costs us eventually if we keep doing this. At the moment of talking our point prediction with how many points we've got so far and how is it going, we're going to have about 72, 73 points. That's not good enough for going up from last year. Last year, that got you just outside playoffs.
I think that might be enough this year, though, with how competitive it is. I think there's going to be more teams beating. Like, everybody's going to be beating everybody. There's going to be them results where, like we've said, Cheltenham, Morecambe go into places that you wouldn't expect them to get a result. Wimbledon, you wouldn't have expected a point. No.
It's just that never die attitude that when the players and the management just need to get into their head that there's and there was a Wednesday fan who said, he's not good enough for this lead down more. Like, he was here for 2 seasons, for God's sake. It's like we got the stupid thing that Wednesday fans are calling for Darren Moore's head already, and he's been here 6 months, and it's doing my head in.
Yes, you need. I think you need that continuity. I think you need that stability off the pitch. When Darren was at the Rovers, we looked in quite good shape. I think the run of results before he went to Sheffield Wednesday were potentially because we lost Ben Whiteman and his head was already turned.
Yeah,
but they're things that we will never know. So I think for me, out of this one, if Wednesday's
all credit to Wimbledon now.
Yeah, I think if Wednesday had held on for maybe 3 or 4 more minutes, going 2-0 up on 61 and then conceding on 67, it's only 5-6 minutes later. That then it completely shifts the momentum of the game. And as fans, we've seen it. We've seen the script. We've read it before, haven't we?
Yep. And also Google, we haven't used that badge for like 2015.
Oh yeah.
We haven't used that badge since 2015. It always does my head in. I like that badge. But we
It's
haven't
nice
done it in years.
nice that they keep it up to date, though.
Yeah.
So all in all, disappointing, but a point is a point, and
Exactly.
it's a point in the right direction. Talking about points in the right direction, Fleetwood doing very, very well. Danny Andrew, 4 goals, all free kick specialist. I wish he was still in the Rovers team, but this result did us a favour down at the bottom of the table, to be fair. Fleetwood in and around the bottom 4, so a draw would have probably been the best result for us.
Yeah.
But
It's a tight league, though. If you win, you go 13th, 14th, you lose. Fleetwood, one of those teams that I think will surprise some people because they're starting to just slowly chip away.
Yeah, I had them down as, I think, kind of lower mid-table. Not a fan of Grayson, in all honesty. But
is anyone?
It gets the job done, doesn't it? And it's shown here on Saturday. 16 shots, 6 on target. They were plugging away for 60 minutes. Finally got the breakthrough from Johnson on the hour mark. I think Danny Andrew had hit the frame of the goal.
Yeah, he did.
With a free kick just before. But yeah, Ian Bradley said it here. Andrew's free kicks are insanely good. Already surprised us. Yeah, dead ball specialist, unreal at free kicks.
If you got that in a League One team, they're crucial.
Yeah, definitely. And then Garner on the 96th minute just puts the cherry on top. The game was already won, but yeah, decent result for Fleetwood. They're ticking over fairly nicely. I'm concerned for Crewe.
Yeah.
Almost as concerned as I am for the Rovers, but we'll get onto that in a short while. Onto this one. I've said it. I had MK Dons down on my accumulator. Absolutely gutted. 2 teams let me down. MK Dons and Bradford. £5 on, £3.5 back.
And both of the people, you've got fans who you know quite well who let you down. Charlie.
Exactly. Yeah, not happy. So yeah, this was one of those games that after seeing MK Dons play us, I thought they'd have done much better. But
if you're looking at stats, they battered them.
Yeah, bit of a smash and grab, wasn't it?
I'll take that for Shrewsbury because it shows you that never die attitude, and it shows you it's the thing that a lot of teams have got a minute that they're making chances but they're not converting. It's all well and good as saying we made chances this game, and if you're not converting, don't count for nothing.
Exactly.
So
I mean, 24% possession. From that 24%, they've got 4 opportunities, 3 on target and 1 goal. Whereas MK Dons, for me, that is screaming out a lack of ruthlessness.
And they were going for fun at one point as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know what suddenly changed.
I think they'll be fine. I think they'll turn it around again. Every team has a slight blip in their season. Maybe this is MK Dons, and you'd sooner the blip come at this point rather than at the very end. I think they'll still be up there.
Get it early, get it out of the way.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, disappointing result for MK Dons. And talking about disappointing results,
go on.
Rovers 0, Wycombe 2, and a blistering start last weekend for Wycombe. Same again this weekend. Anthony Stewart, 2 minutes in, across corner. Yes, a corner. Whipped in by, his name escapes me, Jacobson, is it? Yeah. Jacobson, unreal at dead balls. Every single ball he whipped in yesterday was troublesome for our defence. But when you're down at the bottom of the table, I'm not making any excuses. We were not good enough. Wycombe did a job in the first 20 minutes and then didn't get out of second gear. We played okay football, but never looked like scoring. We could still be playing now and we wouldn't have scored.
Yeah.
But it just shows when you're down at the bottom of the table how your luck is. Have you seen the first goal?
Yep.
So Kyle Noyle's wrestling into the ground. So for me, it should have been a penalty. Stewart absolutely throws himself to the ground. Don't get me wrong, it should have been a penalty. He was getting pulled all over. But as he throws himself to the ground, the ball hits his head and goes in.
Yep.
And he's shouting for a penalty. And then he realises that everybody's celebrating. And he's just like, I'll take that.
Oh, no, I'll take that. I don't have to take Yes.
And that just, in a nutshell, is our season at the minute. Very unfortunate.
Refereeing in this league is just...
the referee wasn't great, but...
I don't like smashing referees and having to go, it's an hard job, but...
Yeah. it wasn't great. It wasn't a great official, but for me, it wasn't great for both sides, and
And
we
then having
didn't.
Ek and Fenwar just get that on the 17th, it's just like, yeah, you know what we're done now.
Yeah, I mean that goal as well is for me. He's got his arms on his shoulders. He's lifted himself up, but Roshan Williams has been absolutely bullied. It's not even. It looks like he's not even tried to battle with him. Maybe Akinfenwa is just that strong. I wouldn't like to face him, put it that way. But yeah, Wycombe didn't get out of second gear. Looking at the table, I think we've played better teams than Wycombe, better footballing teams. I think MK Dons look better. I think Plymouth look better. Rotherham, Sheff Wednesday. I mean, Ipswich, they played us off the park as well. So there's 5 teams just off the top of my head. Watching the games, I thought were better than Wycombe. But maybe we were just that poor.
It does feel like you're going to be in a scrap this season now.
Yeah, watching that. I mean, we said it just before we came online. It's crazy that you watch games and you see how it's going and you just think we're down, but then you get that little bit of hope from somewhere, from a decent performance or a decent result, and then it just gets destroyed straight away.
You got many players that are coming back from injury, or are they all back now?
Taylor came back and played 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes on Saturday. We've still got Okunabiri to come back, Cameron John. But yeah, the majority of the squad's back. There was just a lack of desire or belief. I think lacking confidence yesterday. There were opportunities where we could have taken a shot on, and they just didn't. And
it'd be interesting to see what the dressing room's like at the minute, because I'm going to guess it's not great, because you've had it in recent times where players have come out and said things about wanting moves and not got it. So just makes you wonder. Richie Wellens is a good manager, but he does have a habit of going into teams and destructing dressing rooms quite badly.
Yeah, some people say that he's got a chip on his shoulder. I think personally, he doesn't like losing. I think he demands a lot of his players. Sometimes players don't like that kind of attention. Yeah, I think man management's massive in football. Unfortunately, some footballers want to be mollycoddled and not told that they're not performing. And I think at the minute we are not performing. But we've got Scunny twice in a week, so hopefully that should be a confidence booster, because we should get the 2 wins in the cups there, and a pivotal couple of weeks for us. I mean, we've got Gillingham on Tuesday, Cheltenham Saturday, Cambridge next Tuesday, Charlton the Saturday after. So 4 massive games for us down at the bottom of the table, and we'll discuss that later in a couple of weeks.
If you kind of got a thing, you don't want to be there come January 1st. Because we all know what the situation is when you see tables then.
Yeah. For me, from them 4 games, I don't want to see us lose one game. I want between 8 and 10 points.
Yeah.
Well, 8 and 13 points.
Yeah.
No.
I know what you mean. You want points.
Yeah, points. We need points. It's gone. So on to Rotherham. Moving on quickly because my head's gone. On to Rotherham. Absolutely smashing it. We've got a Rotherham fan in the chat, Ian. A very happy Miller at the minute, and
they're doing what Rotherham do in this league, aren't they? Come on, let's just say what it is. Rotherham, when it comes to this league, are normally a little bit too good for it, but they just can't seem to get past that to go on to the next level of it.
Yeah, just getting that consistency and that stability in the Championship is evading them. We've got Ian popping in now. So even game up to 55 minutes, then we mullered them after Smith's second goal. Played some great stuff. Wycombe Tuesday should be immense. So
that should be a good game. But
in a nutshell, we don't need to say anything.
But then again, it shows you what this league does. A couple of weeks ago, Portsmouth smashed Sunderland 4-1.
Yeah.
So it just showed there's this so inconsistency with this league, and no one's really got it yet. No one got on it like a little run yet.
No.
So it's
only Plymouth.
As a fan, if you're a football fan and you want a really good league to watch, League One is the one to go for at the minute for me.
Yeah, for the neutral, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, Michael Smith, unreal at this level. 2 goals. Richard Wood and Ben Wiles. So quick fire, like Ian said, 55th minute, 60 and 62nd, your game's gone. Absolutely gone. Portsmouth won't be happy with that. There's quite a few murmurings coming from Portsmouth at the minute. They're going through a bit of a patch, but sure they'll be okay. come the end of the season.
Good result there for Cheltenham.
Yeah, 1-0 against Accrington Stanley, a tough team to play against. Accrington, the one of those teams that have got that stability off the pitch. With Coleman in charge, I think he picks gems up from non-league and places where you'd never expect players to come from. And they do League One very, very well. We always struggle against Accrington.
Quite a tight game, actually, if you're looking at stats.
Yeah, definitely. It was kind of expected. Cheltenham, a little bit like Morecambe and Cambridge, they've got that never say die attitude. They're just playing their football in League One, coming up this season and taking the game to whatever team they play against. And Kyle Vassell, ex-Rotherham, gets the goal to get them the 3 points. So honestly, I'm not looking forward to playing these next Saturday because they've got Matty Blair, Alfie May, and Andy Williams. So 3 ex-players. Normally, ex-players score past us. So it's going to be 3-0.
Can you just give everybody in League One your players?
Pretty much. We could do with them. Moving on to another fantastic result for Plymouth.
Win again.
Oxford 1, Plymouth 3, and that puts Plymouth unbeaten in 11. So we were saying that no team's really got that consistency. I think Plymouth have got it at the minute.
And Ian said Rotherham with 6 games. 6
games unbeaten. Yeah, I'll get that up there. Sorry, Ian, missed that one. There you go, 6 games unbeaten for us. But yeah, Plymouth 11 games unbeaten.
And they're normally winning by a good couple of goals as well, aren't they?
Yeah. But yeah, the first goal, lovely little dink, sweeping move, and turn before half time, and a lovely third as well. Matt Taylor set Oxford on the way, and probably as an Oxford fan, you think 5 minutes in, happy days, let's get at them. And from there, they didn't, and Plymouth turned on the style. Benucci, Kamara, lovely couple of goals, and who's the team that's going to stop them? I thought Donny were going to stop them when we played them at their place, but we gave them 2 penalties because we're that nice.
We were outdone. We didn't turn up when we played them, so
we know exactly how it feels. Plymouth looking very good in League One at the minute. Do you reckon they've got the staying power to be there come the end of the season? That's the question.
Yeah, come that Christmas period, that's where you see what people's mettle is.
Definitely. Good result for Lincoln. I work with a Lincoln fan, and his worry is goals at the minute, not being able to score enough goals.
Charlton helping you helps.
Yeah. So Jaden Stockley on goal is always welcome. But then Lavelle popping up on the 63rd minute to equalise it. And you're thinking at that point, this game's going to just peter out to a 1-1 draw. And then a lovely ball in, met by Regan Poole. Beautiful header. What more can I say?
It's
decent 3 points
you
for
love
Lincoln.
a 90-minute winner when it's on your side, but when it's not on your side, it's gut-wrenching.
Heartbreaking, isn't it?
I shouldn't know. We've had a couple done.
Well, there you go, Ian. The only team to beat Argyle in the league this season, the Millers.
There you go. Yep. That's
doing
looking
Rotherham
like
thing.
it could be your top 2.
Definitely. If they carry on with this.
Yeah.
On to the penultimate game of this weekend, Bolton. We've been doing fairly well this season. Didn't do fairly well on Saturday. Got absolutely battered by a very good Wigan side. Will Keane, James McLean with a brace, and Callum Lang. But it's one of those things this week. The gaffer came out and said that Bolton are the best team in the league, and that's just is written the team talk for Wigan there, hasn't it?
Yeah. He kind of did similar thing when we played him. He had a whole situation where you speak about Kieran Lee got unfinished business with this, and Kieran Lee at the end said, "I've got no unfinished business. I just didn't get my end of a way to say goodbye to the fans, and now I've done it, so I'm happy." Yeah. He causes a lot of problem for himself, I think. I understand trying to big it up and say this and do this. Sometimes doing that, the opposite manager doesn't have to say anything.
No. If you've got a gaffer coming out and saying, we're the best team in the league, all you have to say is, listen to that, lads, go and show them that they're not.
Yeah.
And that's it. And they definitely did that with a decent performance. I mean, you look at the possession, and Bolton have had quite a lot of the ball, but Wigan have just done bits with the possession that they had.
10 shot, 3 on target. Kind of said that. It's just, it's a weird one, Bolton, because they got the chance to be up there, just don't write the team sort for them.
Yeah.
Wycombe could be getting top 2, yeah. It's going to be a fight between Wycombe, Plymouth, and Rotherham at this stage.
See, from what I saw yesterday, I know I said that they didn't get into second gear. I've seen better teams this season. I think Wycombe will be top 6. I think they'll struggle to get top 2.
All depends what happened, when come Christmas. I think Christmas is thingy.
Yeah. Too early to tell, but top 6 definitely. I'd agree with that. I think top 6 is achievable, but like you say, over that Christmas period, a lot of things.
Where teams are found out, let's put it that way.
Yeah, definitely. And on to the final game before we have a quick look at the table. Gillingham getting beat 2-1 by Sunderland, and for me, I thought Gillingham deserved more from the game.
They looked okay, actually. It was
Yeah.
a weird one. You can't even say it. You can't even say it was the red card for Sunderland that might have changed it for them, because there is that whole cliche when a team goes down to 10 men, then actually they're normally a little bit better.
Yeah, definitely. But for me, like you say, the red card didn't change the game. I think Gillingham absolutely onslaughted Sunderland from minute 1, rewarded with a penalty on the 25th minute, but then just couldn't add to that. Aidan O'Brien, just before half time, perfect time to score. And then 9 minutes after the break, 2-1. Definite red card for me. But Steve Evans not happy that there wasn't enough added on time to try and get that equaliser. And that concerns me because Gillingham are the next team that we face. And they look pretty decent against Sunderland. So I'm not got much hope at the minute.
He said we were nervous laugh.
Yeah, because if not, I'll be crying. But yeah, Gillingham, I think, deserve more from that game. They're looking over the shoulder at the minute, but based on that performance, I think if they pull that out more often than not this season, they'll be able to pull themselves away from that bottom 4. And that takes us onto the table. We'll start down at the bottom quickly. Yeah, we are there, 7 points. Two
goal
wins.
Difference.
Yeah, I'll cover that with a hand. So 2 wins, 1 draw, 8 defeats, and yeah, that goal difference is an extra 3.
Worrying.
Yeah, it's an extra 3 points straight away. Like I say, some big games coming up over the next couple of weeks, so hopefully the goal difference gets chopped away at, and the points start getting put on the board. Said that I'm a little worried for Crewe. 12 games in, 8 points. Charlton, I think Adkins could potentially be the next manager to get the chop. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, I can see that, because they should be doing better, and I don't know why they're not. Either experienced manager in this league, something not clicked. They've not got all the issues they've had over the last couple of seasons either.
Yeah.
So something's not right there.
Yeah, definitely. One thing that gives me hope as a Rovers fan is Ipswich. So they were struggling in and around this group a couple of weeks ago. Little run of results, and they're pulling away from the bottom 4. So it just shows, we've said it in the video, in the stream previously, a bit of consistency in this league, and you can start to pull away. So hopefully this little section of games for us is that little run of games and consistency that we need. On to the top end, or the top half of the table, Pompey in 12th. Bit disappointing for them. I think early on in the season they had a very good start. They were sat top, and then it's just not quite been clicking for them. They've slowly dropped down the table. I'd expect them. I know they've cut the wage budget and they've done a lot over the summer. Do you think it's a consolidation season for them and push on next season?
I think it's looking like that, but they're a weird team that the time where they'll play a couple of teams and get a nice run going, then it'll peter out. I think for them, they don't want to have that consolidation because they've had that for way too many seasons. But they had there's a lot of teams this season who did complete squad rebuilds due to whatever reasons. We had a mixture of the pandemic and cutting wages and cutting costs and stuff. I think you're seeing a league where you've got a lot of teams that are just trying to work out what's best, and no one worked out, apart from the ones who are flying, what best teams and setups are. Yeah,
definitely. You mentioned that Wednesday fans are shouting for Darren Moore's head. I think a little prematurely, to be fair. Just outside of the playoffs.
Exactly.
a long old way to go in this season. So I fully expect you guys to be in and around it, in the mix.
I still think with how we're playing, we will have a team that will batter at some point. It's just not there. And I don't mean to be disrespectful, but you see certain teams and see how they play, you think they're going to batter someone.
Yeah.
And the bits where I think we could, we when we played Morecambe, we had so many chances we didn't bury. And we had the similar against Wimbledon, and they just were resilient. And that's what we've got to realise. There's going to be teams that are resilient. And the issue we've got is our treatment room is starting to get quite full. 2 centre-backs, left back, centre midfielder, and that now leaves us with only 2 centre-backs who are fit.
Wow. That's not good hearing.
No.
And then the top 6 currently made up of MK Dons, Rotherham, Sunderland, Wigan, and then the 2, Wycombe and Plymouth. But looking at the points, it's extremely tight. There's going to be lots of change, but that 10-game flag post, that marker, kind of shows where the division's settling down to, and teams are pretty much in the positions that they deserve to be in, which is, I don't really want to say that with us sat rock bottom, but
start of the season, I said when we finish mid-table or we have a playoff push, because I thought it would be a hard league, and I'm nice to show that I knew it was a hard league.
Yeah, very competitive league. But hopefully that consistency comes and we start to climb that table. So there we go. And that is the review done. Not bad, 42 minutes, we're getting there. So thank you for joining me.
2-game week this week for both. You've got a game Tuesday as well, aren't you? So it's 2-game week. Yeah,
2-game week next Sunday. I think it's a full fixture list on Tuesday. Gillingham Tuesday, Cheltenham on Saturday. So
we've got Cambridge and then we've got Lincoln.
Yeah.
So we may go a bit earlier on Tuesday, on the Sunday, just being a 2-game week.
Yeah,
it's a lot of games to get in 30 minutes.
Yeah, might end up starting at maybe 6:15, 6 o'clock, something like that. But if not, I don't mind starting at 6:30. But I'm ready for some dinner tonight. Very hungry. So thank you, everybody.
I've been at a computer for 2-3 hours now.
That's enough. That's enough. We need to get away. So a big thank you for everybody for dropping in, watching for a little bit. Big thank you to Jake for joining me as co-host once again.
Much appreciate it.
You know your stuff. You talk sense, and I think we're quite balanced with what we say, which is what I want from this. So if you've enjoyed it, please stick a big thumbs up on it for us, please. Don't forget to go over to Jake's socials. They're all in the description. Follow him on YouTube, Twitter, all of it's down there. Subscribe to me if you haven't already. Comments in the section down below if you're watching this on the repeat. And all that's left for us to say is thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.